Okay, there we are. Let's see if that'll work. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this happens when I do things in a rush, and I needed to get this up right away. Okay, I just got a call from my good friend Bran Thornton. If you'll remember, Bran Thornton and I were at Bundy Ranch together. We've been in a lot of demonstrations. We've been very public. We've got a lot of news broadcasts of different types with objections to the way the governments of our nation and our counties and states are doing things. And Brand is right now up in Boise, Idaho. As you may know, there's been a situation developing in Boise there over an incident involving a young child by the name of Cyrus. They call him Baby Cyrus. If you don't know about that information, and I'm not certain that the mainstream media is really telling it the way it is, but most of you, I think, know that this is going on up there. That what occurred was that this child has had some different. He's breastfed, he was anyway, and he was a little underweight because, like a lot of children do when they're that age, he was having some problems digesting the proteins. So at any rate, they went into the doctor in some way, shape, or form, and put him on a basic regimen. And then he was supposed to go in for a weigh-in. Well, he missed the weigh-in because he was sick. The parents decided that they were going to wait rather than taking him in. But rather than checking with the parents and finding out what was going on, the hospital and the CPS said that they were abusing the child and they removed him from the parents. Now he's breastfed, so this is really bad for him. Well, at any rate, then they were going to, the state says, well, we're going to put him in a foster home. Well, why not just leave him with the parents in that case if they're worried about his health? So, at any rate, if you haven't been keeping track of this is CPS and government officials involved in child trafficking. So, what's happened is a large number of people, including my friend Brand Thornton and also Ammon Bundy, you might know about Ammon Bundy, are now there in Boise putting together a demonstration that's going to take place tomorrow. That information is in the description box below. It is at the judge's house tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I think it's 11. It might be 10. At any rate, at the judge's house tomorrow in Boise, Idaho. So if you are available to be there, if you can go, it would be a good thing to do. This is one of those things that's standing up for innocent people that are being railroaded by the government and government officials and everything that's going on with trying to steal children from their parents and their families. This is a time to stand up and be counted. Now, I've been told I can't tell you everything that's actually coming down on this, but this is real serious, okay? The lieutenant governor has spoken out against the governor of the state, Governor Little, and there's vast information now that has been uncovered that shows that the government officials are involved in this child trafficking, and all of this is going to come out. So, this is a big case. It goes along with the whole problem that we've had with CPS for a long time. We've known that this was a situation, not just in Idaho, but across the country. I think I mentioned, I don't know, it's probably been a couple of years back on a live stream or maybe as a recorded video, that I was even subject to that. It wasn't called CPS back when they did it to me, but my brother and I were removed from our home, from our parents over a silly thing, and it took a U.S. senator to turn it around. But everything they say about this whole thing with social workers and CPS, there are good ones. I know. People are going to say, yeah, but then there are really situations where they're needed. Well, the problem is they're the parents' children, and I'm not going to get into this discussion of compelling state interest and all the bullshit that they throw out on that. But at any rate, I know that, for instance, in my case, it was totally unjustified, and yes, they were trying to sexually abuse us. I definitely can tell you that for a fact. I won't tell you the other part of the backstory on that, but that was going on back when I was a child, and it's just gotten worse and worse. So when I did my homeless camps If you remember my documentary, it's in the playlists under uh, films and documentaries. There's a documentary I did called Homeless Camps. And in that, I actually interview a young lady who was taken from her parents by CPS and abused. And she talks about it, which is one reason why she stayed homeless, uh, trying to stay away from these people. Now, she was older at the time that I interviewed her. I think she was 20 at that point. But she had been having that problem since she was very young, and it really affected her. And you can see that in there. So, at any rate, I thought I'd let you know that that's what's going on in Boise, Idaho tomorrow. Look in the description box for the address and the time. And if you can be there, please do. The very least you should do is, and this isn't for me, this is for the parents and for the people that are trying to show that this corrupt government there in Boise is doing these horrible things to all these children. Share this if you would. Send it out to everybody because maybe somebody can show up there that sees it. Okay. So, again, to wrap it all up, baby Cyrus was taken from his parents under color of law, putting his life in danger, causing his parents and his family a great amount of grief, all by corrupt officials who are using anything they can to get these children out of their families, and then they disappear. Fortunately, these parents and their relatives have been on top of this, so they've not been able to, the government has not been able to go as far as they would probably like. But the government officials that apparently aren't corrupt, and that primarily being the lieutenant governor, is involved in this whole thing to expose this corruption and what's going on. It's going to blow the lid off the state of Idaho, and I suspect that some government officials and others are going to face criminal prosecution on this. So you may have seen the lieutenant governor stand up against the governor. The governor left the state for a while. This was about a year and a half ago, I believe. The governor left the state, left the lieutenant governor there, and the lieutenant governor, she instituted a situation where she reversed the restrictions on the medical stuff that the governor had instituted. Unfortunately, when he came back, he withdrew those, but it shows you the type of woman this lieutenant governor is and what she's willing to stand up for. And she is willing to stand up for these children and the families of these children who are suffering these abuses by government officials who are trafficking human beings, especially children. So, okay, I got to run off. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. I just wanted to get this up real quick. You notice I'm still a little red. I thought I'd try this a little differently and not turn on the main light over here, but it's definitely the white balance in the phone camera. So there's nothing I can do about it. It makes me. I'm a little vain, I suppose. I don't like looking like somebody punched me in the eye. Although somebody did punch me in the eye, but that's another story. All right. Please spread this all around. If Ammon is elected governor, I may be the place of refuge. Yeah, in the United States. We'll see. A lot of things are going to happen between now and then. You're going to see, if you think what's going on in Europe right now and what's happened to us over the last 2 years is bad, just wait. Remember, when the power starts to slip from these evil people at the top, they will do anything, including destroying everything, rather than lose that power. So you've got to be able to stand on your own. Prep, pray, stay out of the way, but you can defend yourselves. Watch what's going on, eyes on the horizon, ears to the ground. Keep your situational awareness on high, and we'll talk to you later. Please spread this around so anybody that's available to go can. Thanks, everybody, and thank you, Brand Thornton, for being there, as you always are. You're a watchman that's not just up on the tower, but down on the battlefield. Out here, everybody.